What's good people? It is your boy, Nick Crenshaw, with another episode of What That Walk Like. Man, before we get started, you know me, I need you to do me a favor. Go ahead and push that subscribe button. And after you push that subscribe button, go ahead and push that like button also. I'm pretty sure you're going to like today's content, but I want to go ahead and get this house cleaning out the way. Now that we've got that out the way, let's talk about it, good people. So today's conversation is about, you messy. So today we're gonna not talk about maybe your house being a little messy or your car being a little messy or even your workspace being a little bit messy. Today we're talking about the messy that comes from your character, your conversation, or your viewpoint. So I think today is going to be a great conversation about those things. Let's talk about it. Holla at me, baby. All right, good people, we're back. And now we can have this conversation. So most of the time I hear people say, well, I'm not messy, I'm just truthful. Well, this is where the conflict comes in. If this conversation or what you're speaking about to other people, if it's not taking place with the people that you're speaking about, like if they're not in the room, if they're not sitting in front of you, or if this is not information that pertains to you personally, then you run the risk of being messy. Now, you might be a part of an accountability group, or, you know, there might be licenses that have been given to you to speak freely about someone else's life because that's the type of reality that y'all are in. Like I said before, like accountability groups, small groups, stuff like that, where y'all speak freely about each other's realities. And if you got the thumbs up from the person that you're talking about, then y'all should have those necessary conversations. But if that's not your reality, let's keep it 100 with each other, man. You probably running the risk of being messy. And you know when you being messy. I hate when people be, I'm not being messy. Yeah, you know it. You know you being messy. And you got a little bit of messy in you. You know, just in case you confused, man, go back to our ratchet conversation. You know, our righteous or ratchet conversation. It's real. You know, some parts of the ratchet that is in us is the messy that is in us also. So I think the first thing that we can do is just be honest with ourselves. You may be messy and you may know this about yourself. But and I'm not saying that to recognize those things is not a good thing. You should recognize those things within yourself. But we also have a responsibility to do something about that. So if you know you messy and your messy has caused drama in your life, please take the necessary steps to address that. Now, another thing is acting ugly towards somebody else without having a conversation with them first also can be considered messy. Let's say you've had beef with somebody, or you've had a problem with somebody, or y'all have had an argument about something, and the first thing that you do is go tell mutual friends without actually having a conversation with the person that you got a problem with. That can be considered as messy. Sometimes you may be doing that to gain an understanding of that person's viewpoint, or so that you can get wise counsel about how you should approach that. That's not messy. But like I said before, you know when you're being messy. So don't play the game of, I wasn't being messy. I was just getting information so I could have the situation. Nah, that's not how that played out. You know you were being messy. And it's okay. Like, we're having honest, transparent conversation here. So these are the times where you can at least be honest with yourself. That way you can be honest with God, and you can be honest with the people that's around you of saying, hey, this is an area that I struggle with, or you can apologize when needed. Hey, you know what? You know, you called me messy, and at the time I was a little defensive, but really I think maybe this is something that we should talk about, or maybe I need to approach this different in the future so that we don't have these type of confusions. Now, there's another thing that I've come to realize is from the viewpoint of bringing up dramas that you're having with someone else, and that being a messy area of your life. You run the risk of having the viewpoint of someone that does not want peace, that does not want understanding, and that does not want to give forgiveness or to receive forgiveness. Now that in itself can be extremely dangerous if not confronted. That is what causes lasting dramas, and sometimes generational curses. Like, you cursed a relationship that has fed into cursing the relationship between the next generation and the generation after that, when it could have been fruitful relationships that produce great things in the future. A great legacy of love, forgiveness, peace, understanding, greatness. But you rather choose to keep the mess. And I'm not here to judge you on it. I'm just here to hold you accountable on it. I think that we all have those areas in our lives, and it's just like, hey, I don't even need to talk to them no more. Or, hey, I don't really want to have a conversation with them. But it's one thing to avoid interaction or to avoid issues with someone, and it's another thing to also go to other groups of people and be like, I can't stand that person. This is why I can't stand them. But you weren't willing to sit down and have the conversation with the person that you have an issue with. When you don't do that, you're not just hurting the other person potentially. You are fully hurting yourself. And I know people be like they don't understand that concept of, no, I ain't hurting me. You know, your pain is being displayed in your messy. Of course you're hurting yourself. You wouldn't even bring that person up in conversation if that past experience had not hurt you. And you are not going to be able to fully get over that pain until you recognize the hurt. It's just kind of like if you got a deep cut in your arm, to just ignore it has the ability to allow infection to come inside, and you may even have to cut that limb off unnecessarily. Versus if you would have just acknowledged the wound there and then started to apply things to aid the wound, not only could you have saved the limb, but you could have a healthy, strong arm. Maybe with some scars, but healthy and strong all the same. So, that is one of the things, or a few of the things, that I know that when you look at your reality, these are the things that you need to look at. Also, like I was talking about earlier, it's always mess, and then that mess produces a drama. That is the thing that you surely want to avoid. I've known many of fights and things that can be considered way more than just a regular fight that all started with messiness. Oh, she said, or he said, or man, did you hear what that person said about you? Or man, I wouldn't let nobody talk to me like that. I wouldn't let nobody talk about me like that. And instead of that person quietly and independently going to engage the person and say, hey, what's this about? How can we resolve these issues? Because one, I don't need you talking about me, or I don't need, having grown folk conversation about an issue, you just feed into the mess, and then your mess becomes drama. Now, how drama plays out, as everybody knows, can be extremely destructive. It can split families, split long relationships. Dramas can cause emotional, mental, and physical pain. Because, drama might end up somebody start hunting for somebody. You gonna have to, my favorite term, you gotta see me. And that's what escalates something that could have been communicated wisely about to something that now action it's not even required, but action is played out, and not only will it leave scars, but it will leave things to be repaired. So drama has cost people their lives. Drama has cost people their peace for years. Drama has just cost people, period. And drama is so avoidable most of the time. Not every time, but most of the time, drama is something that can be avoided. And it doesn't always have to be avoided with a lack of communication. Just to kill somebody out of your life is not always the answer to it. Sometimes communication within itself is the key. Now, guarded communication may be. And sometimes you're going to have to listen way more than you speak, even if you feel it's somebody else's fault. Because once you listen, you're able to take in all of that information and make an educated decision upon a plan of action from that point on. To say, okay, well, I know this has created a rift or a distance between us, and maybe in this season we just need to continue that distance. Just know that I care about you, I love you, because we're trying to get this walk together. We're not just trying to talk about it or act like we got this walk together. We're actually trying to step by step get this walk together, become stronger in our steps. And that requires forgiveness. Now, I got a whole thing about forgiveness. And we're going to have that conversation too. But I think that is necessary. And as I was just speaking about, the major thing you should be able to walk away with is saying, if you produced a mess, if that is a part of what you've done, is you've made messes from here and there and everywhere, one of the major things you could do is clean that mess up. If it's a mess with someone that you have wronged or you feel has wronged you, have those necessary conversations. Life is so short. And some relationships, you're right, you can do without. But if you're trying to look like the God that you say you serve, get out your feelings and get to cleaning. My kids, before they left, they created a mess in my house. And when they come back in a few days from their mother's house, they will have the opportunity to clean up every single mess that they created. It will teach them things that will bless their future. It will keep a standard in their lives that will bless their right now. That is the hope and the desire for you also. Man, God bless y'all. God keep you. Do not forget right now, take your time. Take the time to push that subscribe button, baby. Come on, do it for me. Even if you don't want to do it for yourself, do it for me. And if you don't want to do it for me, do it for yourself. God bless you. And push the like button too. Don't forget to push the like button. And I will see you on the next episode of What That Walk Like. Holla at your boy, baby.
Hey brother, don't talk about it, be about it. If you got a problem with your boy, come see about me. If you don't believe what I say, then you're free to doubt me. But when I put it in your face, you can get around me. I hear swimming oceans that we climbing mountains. Still on the boat, screaming that you drowning. My squad grinding while you steady lounging. Need the motivation and the nuts you trying to. Yeah, holla at me, bro. I know you need some games.